We're back here planting in the SHTF garden. Got 3 self-watering containers. Got 3 bushes. So let's talk about that for a second, and then we'll plant. First off, why these containers? You can see in the bottom, they have this reservoir. And so in your water soaks down, gets down into that and holds that. You can see it there. If it gets too much, it'll overflow to this. Or if you don't want to top water, you can just put your nozzle, your hose, or however you're watering right there and fill up the bottom reservoir. Roots will find their way down here. The water will be wicked up by the soil, and this can help you when it's hot and dry. That's why I want these for my fruits. So essentially, when it all comes down to it, you got 2 real categories. I guess you'd say 3 if you count biennials as a separate category. But you got annuals that, like a tomato, it grows during the season, produces fruit, and it dies off at the end of the year when it gets cold or diseased, like this tomato here. And it's got me a ripe cherry tomato, which I'm pretty excited about. It's beat up, it looks bad, it's been through hell. This is the overwintered tomato, or one of the 3 overwintered tomatoes actually. But I'm getting cherry tomatoes already, ripe, small ones, small pickings. But hey, it's only like, what, today's Easter Sunday, so what, April 4th, I think. So it's pretty good. So this is an example of an annual. This, when it gets cold or disease, will die off. You'll have to plant new ones next year, or do the overwintering type stuff like I did last year, which was, I'm sure I'll do a whole video series on it. It won't be for a while till it gets cold. And I basically just took a sucker and cut it off and started growing the sucker. And this is that sucker from one of the plants, actually from my onion bed where I said they fell down on the ground in the last video. That's where this came from. I just lopped off the sucker and here it is. And I have these here as my perennials. So perennials come back year after year, produce fruit year after year. Annuals, the one time. We definitely want to have some perennials available to us. So here is a grape. And it's just a standard grape I got at a big box store. And I'm going to grow it in this pot. So we're going to plant this. Probably eventually end up with more than one kind. Because if you look at some of these, it says it starts harvesting in year 2, so I may not get anything out of this year. And then it gives a little information here about spacing, planting depth, and all that. Full sun. You may not like it, but it's going to be in a pot. And you have another one here. This is a blueberry. This is blueberry, supposed to make a decently large blueberry, starting to come alive a little bit, but definitely needs out of this little bag. Bought them a while back, bought 2 of them. Another one's already been planted, and it looks 10 times better than this one. This is a raspberry. This is the gold raspberry and raspberry fall gold yellow, whatever that is. And it's starting to come up with a new raspberry cane. Raspberries only produce on new canes, so this is an old cane. I accidentally broke it. It doesn't matter because old canes don't produce. This new cane is what I'm interested in. Anyways, so that's going to be the 3 things I'm adding to these 3 pots. So I can have a blueberry. They will fruit with 1, but you need 2 of them if you really want to get some good production at the minimum. So I got 2 of these. Like I said, the other one's already planted. I have a raspberry. I'm going to eventually get more. I have a grape. Eventually going to get different ones. And one of the reasons why I'm going for the variety, the one will be a little bit of each, is because I'm trying to get stuff that fruits at different times. So this will fruit at the same mid or late season. These will fruit at early and whatever. So the fruit at different times of the season, so that any given time I should be able to come out and either get a grape, or raspberry, or blueberry. When there's other stuff I can use. In the back, I just got some regular container mix stuff I got from Dollar General because it's a holiday, slim pickings, and I didn't have time to get any stuff yesterday. So I've got some potting mix, and I still have my 1 bag of compost I've been saving for a while to top off whatever these bags don't fill up, if they don't fill them all the way up. So let's go ahead and put some soil in there and then stick these in, and we're going to plant them up to the depth they are in the package. So I'm going to go here. I don't want to bury it too much and get it all rotted and stuff. So let's go ahead and check that out. All right, so this is what they filled up to, 1 bag in each. Actually gave me a little bit more than I thought in there. I filled it up decent. And I got 1 extra bag of just potting mix I could top it off with. So this container mix looks like it's okay. It's supposed to have enough fertilizer the last 4 months. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of my organic fertilizer in there anyway, just to make sure it's good. Slap these bad boys in there, top them off a little bit with this. I should still be able to save my compost for something else. But yeah, actually is a decent amount. It's more volume than I thought. These are the bigger pots at Walmart I got. These are the 13.9 inch pots. Trying to get the biggest self-watering ones I could. The other ones they have were 11.9, I think. So let's go ahead and see what we got. One hit in this. Oh, just dropped that all over. Okay, so you could just leave this in here, or you could take this root ball out. Let's go ahead and take the root ball out. And I'm gonna be a nice hole. Stick this. There really wasn't much to the root structure. I thought there would be more. So there's not a whole lot. I was kind of surprised how small that was. So maybe I should have, I may have having to lift it up somewhere, pull this up, just so it's got more to it. Let's put the other 2 in there and see how they are. All right, so 4 of these bags ended up working out pretty much perfect. Now, since they got that raspberry out of there, it's looking really bad because they're weak and they've been sun deprived in that bag. So hopefully they will recover. That looks terrible. This grape looks like it's doing pretty good. This blueberry, I'm raising it up a little bit and filling in some more soil. But in between that, what I didn't show, I did add a handful of that in each container. See, I didn't really need to. It's supposed to be good for 4 months worth of fertilizer, but I wanted to put a little bit of that organic fertilizer in there anyway. It'll take a while to break down and feed the plants. So I'm gonna top dress the one I already have in there, then water these in. Here's the other blueberry I mentioned I had previously planted. Let's go ahead and throw a little bit of this on top, all around, just kind of scratch it into the soil a little bit. The water will wash that in, and so that we can get a little feed too. These I'm gonna go ahead and water in real quick. Grab the hose. Of course, if you have a source of non-city water, that'd be the best, because then you wouldn't have the chlorine killing off the biology. And in SHTF, this may not be available. So it's something I intend to work on. But at the moment, I'm still relying on the grid for that. Let's go ahead and get this soaked in. Get this soaked in nicely too. So they can get started. I'll find a nice sunny space to sit down and start growing for me. Hopefully this raspberry makes a comeback. That's really weak and spindly looking. It is really struggling for the light. So there's no water coming here yet. Yes, this water soaks down. That reservoir should fill up. Now it's getting some light. Hopefully it will make a recovery. So we'll check on this and see what kind of results we get. Hopefully we'll get some good results. Then we got new water in. And that's it for that. So this is perennials. I'm going to be able to ensure they have food year after year. They may not fruit the first year, or if they do, it'll probably be a small amount. But years go by. I've grown grapes before, and they can be huge, and they can grow way more grapes than I ever eat. But you know, hey, if it's an SHTF, sometimes I think you can eat the grape leaves too. They sell them in Greek restaurants. I'll have to do some research on that to find out if there's any particular varieties in mind for that, or I'm assuming it's anyone. But without doing my due diligent research, I'm not gonna say that you can. There we go, perennials. Something to add to your SHTF vegetable garden. So if you like this content, give a subscribe, give a like, thumbs up, drop me a comment in there. I try and respond to all the comments I get. Right now I'm not getting a whole lot, so when I do get them, I'm more than happy to respond, as long as I am able to. We try and grow this channel just like we're growing in our gardens. And hey, learn something, teach me something. It's community, and it's community I think in need, and I think the need's only going to grow as, I guess it's a bad way of saying it, community's need looks like it's only going to grow in the future. But hey, even if we don't ever need SHTF gardening, which I think we will and do, you get a nice hobby, you get fresh, delicious, nutritious food. It's a win-win all the way around. All right, like, share, subscribe. Talk to you soon.